You want to know how everything began? Well, it all started with my mother, alone in her little workshop deep in the forest. Surrounded by scraps of leather and bits of wood, she spent her days stitching shoes, just as she always had. Life out there was tough. With no village nearby and no customers to speak of, she barely got by. It was a quiet, hard life, one filled with solitude and survival. One quiet afternoon, a boy named Nico appeared at my mother's workshop, his eyes full of wonder and curiosity. He had no shoes on his feet, just dusty soles and dreams too big for the ground he walked on. My mother was used to solitude, but something about him stirred an old warmth in her. She welcomed him in and offered a pair of worn leather shoes she had repaired long ago. You'd think they were made of gold, the way his eyes lit up. Nico was a dreamer, much like she once was. At first, she didn't think much of it, but there was something in the way he looked at the wooden birds on her shelves, the ones she used to carve when her hands still remembered the skies. It reminded her of younger days, when she, too, dreamed of flying. But those dreams had long since been tucked away, buried under years of quiet survival in the forest. One day, a storm came suddenly, wind and thunder shaking the forest. Inside the workshop, they hurried to gather what little they could: tools, a pair of shoes, a wooden bird. Then a lightning bolt struck the building, filling it with smoke and fear. She froze. But Nico, calm and brave, grabbed her hand. "Just what's necessary," he whispered. Together, they ran into the rain. Behind them, a final flash lit up the sky. The workshop collapsed in a burst of sparks and splintered wood. She didn't look back. There was nothing left to save, except the path ahead. They ran through the forest until the trees gave way to a steep cliff. With no path forward, they took shelter beneath a large tree as the storm grew heavier, louder, relentless. She collapsed to her knees, desperate, calling out to God, convinced her whole life had shattered. But Nico, he didn't give up. While she searched for hope in tears, he searched in the worn bag. And then he laughed. In the middle of the storm, soaked and shivering, he laughed. He had found the wooden bird. With soaked branches and scraps of leather from the old shoes, he began to build something unbelievable: a hang glider. It should have been impossible, but he made it. Although my mother couldn't believe it would work, her eyes widened as she saw the marvelous thing Nico had created. With a mixture of awe and disbelief, she realized it was possible. They climbed onto the hang glider, soaring through the sky like birds, and after several hours of flight, they finally landed in a peaceful village. The storm had passed, and the village was filled with happy, welcoming people. Just a few months later, my mother opened her own shoe workshop, now bustling with customers and life. This is the story of how my family's life changed, all because of a boy and a wooden bird. If you ever find yourself stuck in the storm, remember this: it's not the storm that defines you, but the way you choose to move through it.